All right, stop your mumbling. I've heard enough of this trash.
Huh? Piccolo! I didn't know that you trained with weighted clothing.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Oh yeah, I feel much lighter now.
His power level's gone up to 400.
There's 30 pounds, and here's 50, and another 50. And 2 little fivers. That ought to do it, Piccolo, unless you can think of something else.
What am I, your tailor?
Now listen up, boys. It's time to shed your shells.
What?
Wow, after all this time.
Thank goodness. Chicks don't dig turtle shells, capiche?
Huh? Hey, wow. I feel as light as a feather.
Well, check it out. Jump as high as you can.
Huh? Is this even possible?
I guess so. We're doing it.
Oh. ソン、このシャツちょっと見せてもらっていいか？何？ソン、お前今までこんなの着て戦っていたのか？
うん、神様がな、これも修行だって。亀仙人のじっちゃんの修行の時もさ、亀の甲羅を背負ってやったけど、あれと同じようなもんさ。
Hey guys, this is Poohead199, and today we're going to be talking about a particular type of training technique or method, the weighted training clothes. Now, it's not necessarily a real, technique in most senses, but many masters do tend to utilize it to maximize strength training. Before we go further, I do need to point out that there have been numerous studies of weighted training clothes on real people, and I've even tried them myself in my years of amateur bodybuilding. If you're curious, they have some limited effect in real life, but they are not the best way to get great strength gains. It depends on your goal and the type of activities you are doing with them as well, but if you simply wear them daily, it does not automatically increase your strength, at least to any great degree. However, in the Dragon Ball universe, it's a very effective way to grant effective strength gain. Now, while weighted apparel is technically introduced in Chapter 3 with the introduction of Master Roshi and his weighted turtle shell, it is not used as a training method until Chapter 31, after the first big day of the Turtle School training with Goku and Krillin. Master Roshi tells them that the training will be this hard every day, and they will also wear the turtle shells with it, much to their chagrin. Now, some of you might wonder why I am including the turtle shells in this video, as they aren't typically clothes. However, for the purpose of this video, anything one can wear and be weighted without having to be consciously held like a dumbbell counts. Now, for Goku and Krillin, 20-kilo turtle shells allowed them to gain huge advancements in strength. It is true that this part of the series was still quite comedic in nature, rather than more focused on action and drama, but despite the gags that make power scaling more difficult, it is indisputable that Goku and Krillin increase in strength many times over, maybe even tenfold, arguably. Of course, this is also due to Roshi's training in general, but the turtle shells no doubt help them reach such heights. We also need to point out that even though they started out with 20-kilogram turtle shells, they upgraded to 40-kilogram turtle shells, and 40 kilograms is what Master Roshi typically wears. And for those of you who don't know, 20 kilograms is 44 pounds, and 40 kilograms is 88 pounds. So generally a kilogram, if you have 1 kilogram, then it is usually 2.2 pounds. The next example of training weights is from Kami's training, something that he most likely made from Kami's own magic, being a Dragon Clan Namekian, as in the training clothes themselves are probably made by Kami's magic. It's difficult to say if Namekians on planet Namek use them, since they can be made so easily by a skilled practitioner. Goku wears it to help with his strength gain, while also learning the valuable training Kami and Mr. Popo give on movement and central inner peace. The weighted training clothes are also utilized by Ten Shinhan, Krillin, Yamcha, and I believe Chaozu in preparation of Nappa and Vegeta arriving on Earth. A very small detail that I never noticed for a long time is the weighted vest being added and taken off on the Earthlings' arrival to the Saiyan battlefield. Toriyama certainly did not forget the weights utilized in Kami's training, even though they aren't mentioned in dialogue in that saga. After this, training weights generally become supplanted by characters training under increasing amounts of gravity, due to Toriyama transitioning the series from a fantastical setting to a more science fiction themed series at the turn of Z. However, we do get another look at weighted training apparel in the Buu saga when Goku is training in the Otherworld for the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament. It is the infamous scene where he wears 2-ton training weights on each extremity, but cannot handle 10 tons until he transforms into Super Saiyan. Now, considering the power scaling of Dragon Ball, that seems like a pretty low number, but there are various ways to get around that. It could be 2 tons normally, but they could also be on a planet with 10 times gravity. Of course, generally the gravity would just change the weight and they would have called the weight something different, but it's the best explanation they have other than Goku having simply been extremely tired from training for a huge length beforehand. Regardless, the weights are used during the Buu saga when the series turns back more towards the fantasy aspect with more magic and mayhem. Training weights are a staple of wuxia as well, at least in a certain respect. Also, while this is not confirmed, it is quite possible that when Tien shows up on the battlefield, he could be wearing training weights, or at least he goes from wearing a tank top to wearing heavy clothing. Also, I apologize for not saying this beforehand, but when Goku is training under Kami, and the others train under Kami later, although at least we don't know if that is what the others are wearing, but we do know that this is what Goku is wearing. Goku's entire outfit is over 100 kilograms. We don't know how much the vest is actually, but both of his boots are 20 kilograms each, and the whole set is above 100 kilograms. So the vest is probably 60 kilograms or more. And we also do not know how much his wristbands weigh, but they do crack the stone when Goku drops them, so they're likely maybe about 10 kilograms each, so it's hard to say. Now, the final thing we need to talk about is how training weights affect power levels. During the early Saiyan saga, when Piccolo and Goku are preparing to fight Raditz, they take their training weights off, which increases their overall power according to Raditz's scouter. Now, that has always been quite strange, at least if you think about it for more than a few moments. This means the scouter did not sense their power, but their capability. Because if I'm holding a 10-pound rock, that does not make me weaker inherently. However, there is the potential for speed being included in overall power, as well as stamina, and with their speed now being less obstructed, and their stamina likely being unhindered and able to come back, albeit slightly, that could be what the scouter is detecting. However, it is still quite strange since it still should just sense strength. The best guess would be that the small calculations the scouter makes likely has an algorithm that computes overall combat effectiveness, and one can make the argument that even if I am not weaker when holding a 10-pound rock, if you add 40 pounds to that, I would not be as effective holding both as I would be if I did not have the 10 pounds in the first place, and someone just gave me the 40-pound one. Meaning I would just be dealing with 40 and not 50 in all, and the scouter could determine one would be less hindered by losing the weights. So this could be an insight into the scouter that I did not add in my scouter video I made a few months ago. Still, quite strange and all. Anyway, that's all I have to say today about the weighted training clothes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Joining the Patreon would be a huge help to my channel and I, even if it's just for a month. And I also want to really thank my patrons because I made this video without being monetized because of the beginning clips. I know you guys love those. And my Twitch and social media are linked below, as is the Discord. Thanks, guys. See ya.